Runk.
We are here, and we did it, dude. We got to episode 100.
Woo!
Spit. How you did it?
Woo! Yeah!
Dude.
Woo!
All right.
Wee!
We wanted to.
Waha!
All right. We wanted to do something a little different.
And that was it.
And
The
special.
woo-hoo-wee,
No,
waha.
no, it was
Yeah.
much more than that. Thank gosh. But it's the 100th episode, and we have a very special guest. This was based on we got the idea Lifeline from Loveline.
We had the idea for the show, and they were like, you know what that's like? The show we love so much.
Yeah.
Loveline, let's call it Lifeline. And so for episode 100,
We got Dr. Drew Pinsky.
Dr. Drew Pinsky.
So let's we had a great conversation with him, and it's really fun. And so we hope you enjoy it, and we hope he enjoyed it. We think he enjoyed it, but we'll let you do the math on that one. You know.
Let
what
me
I
just say
mean?
one thing about
Well,
Dr.
okay.
Drew. You'll see how much we like him, how well we get along, how good he vibes with us. He's so crazy handsome, it's crazy. Okay?
Yeah.
And I
he's a
can't
good-looking guy, yeah.
believe how long he's been around and how much he looks exactly the same as he did when he first started doing it.
Pretty
So I'm gonna
wild,
say,
yeah. Some guys just age nice.
he ages real nice. Real nice.
You know what I thought I was going to age really nice, and I think
God had other plans,
I think
huh?
I'm not.
No,
Yeah.
you're doing good.
I think I'm doing okay. Well, when you took a 43-year-old, and you think of a 43-year-old, you think of a fat guy. I do. Do you?
I don't think of a fat guy when I think of a 43-year-old.
I do.
I think of you. No, I don't think about 43-year-olds. Let me think.
What do you think of? You think of a fat, pudgy guy? I do.
No, I think of like a rugged sort of
Really?
eyes sunk in a little bit, but he's still there. He's still got vitality. He's not overweight,
No
but he's
pudge.
like filled out.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know?
pudge. You got a little
No,
bit
no
pudge.
pudge.
All right.
I said no, so stop trying to
Well,
force
okay,
it on me.
but think about a 55-year-old. What do you think of a fat guy?
No, I
So
don't
none of
think
the
fat.
weight is
I
not
don't
a
think
thing.
anybody ever gets.
Really?
I don't. In my mind, nobody ever gets fat. In real life, everyone's fat.
Yeah, that is true.
Everyone is fat.
You know who doesn't get fat? Dr. Drew. Neither do we,
Dude,
actually.
Dr. Drew
we
is
don't
so
either.
not fat.
We don't get fat.
It's crazy.
We all three of us don't get fat. But yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yes, so I've got dates also coming up: Corpus Christi, Houston, Shreveport, Durham, North Carolina, Norfolk, Virginia, Grand Rapids. Wow. Nanaimo, BC, Saginaw, Victoria, BC, and Augusta, Georgia, North Charleston, South Carolina, St. Petersburg. Got so many. Chattanooga,
That's
Charleston,
sick,
West
dude.
Virginia.
Look at all these good dates.
What's that one say?
Des Moines.
Des Moines and Green Bay, and then more to come too. We're doing more.
Do you ever say this? Green Bay. Yay.
I don't do that. I've
You
never
could.
done that. I might do it, but I don't think that's in my near future. Anyway, so we hope you enjoyed the 100th episode. We really enjoyed it. Actually, we really enjoyed it. Maybe we'll get some guests on now. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? The future is wide open. We're gonna do this forever.
The
We're gonna do
band is
this
still at-
till we drop. It's sick in it.
It's still sick in it.
I'm gonna eat this entire cake.
No.
Between the moment we go away and you see Dr. Drew, the cake will be inside my belly.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Well, edit that "thanks, guys" part out, right? Because it's not "thanks, guys."
Well, no, thanks.
Thanks for
Thanks.
watching 100 episodes.
Yeah, thanks for watching all
But that sounds more
99.
like the end of an episode.
Thanks for watching all 99 so far. Enjoy the 100th episode.
Yeah.
Love you all.
Okay, guys, we did it. We're here. I thought we were going to do maybe 6 episodes of this thing, but we ended up doing 100. And so
Lot
we're
more.
here on episode 100, and we thought we'd do something special. And, you know, this podcast actually, let me just introduce the guest, Dr. Drew Pinsky right here. So
Needs
welcome,
no
Dr. Drew
intro,
Pinsky.
introduction.
Number
but-
100. I'm so
Yes.
privileged to be a part of that. Who knew the digital? Think how wild it is. You can sit here in some space and transmit to the world with your brother and
No
me,
idea.
and just it's nuts.
It's
right?
nuts. It's particularly nuts for me. I'm sure you are sick of hearing this, but Loveline for me is such a touchstone thing. My memory, it's like so many things you said on that show are just etched into my mind.
Craziness.
So looking at you here in front of me on our show
Weird, right?
is totally weird.
That's
And
why we
I-
on
call
the
it
100th
Yeah, but
episode.
that's
Thank
why
you.
we call it Lifeline, because we were
That's
like,
right.
oh, we
That's-
loved Loveline.
That's where the
And
name
so-
came to us.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told this to Ad. I told it when I did Corolla. I told Adam, and then now I'm telling you. But so it's our honor to have you on this.
Yes.
Pleasure. So you can check all of Dr. Drew's stuff out at Ask Dr. Drew. It's Ask
So
Dr. Drew.
I'm gonna do it for you guys.
Do
My
it.
wife's over here breathing down my neck.
Okay, Yeah,
do it.
She produces and creates everything I do online
Yes.
right now, which is my whole life these days.
I know.
Yeah.
It is. You can get everything at DrDrew.tv. It's all, of course, at DrDrew.com as well. But it's called Ask Dr. Drew. It's a streaming show Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 3:00 Pacific. It goes everywhere. Please subscribe at Rumble if you can. And then my new life post-COVID is the chief patient officer for the wellness company, which
There
is
you go.
really fun,
Which
really
is cool.
interesting.
Which
yeah.
is cool. What does that entail?
It's really I have. We've not spoken in a few years.
No, a long time. Yeah.
And quick, I'm going to tell a quick story first.
Yeah.
So I drove over here in a car that you were responsible for.
What?
I don't know if you know this.
This is hilarious.
I don't know. Oh, you do know this. See, I tell stories all the time. I can't remember anymore. And last time Chris was on Loveline, he got in his car and turned on the engine. I was like, "What is that? What did you?
I know
What
what you
is
have.
this thing?
Yeah.
You're driving an RS7.
Yes.
We are driving an old.
Oh.
I got a used RS7
The-
a
No
couple years
way.
ago. and
To me, it's the best car on the road. I love that car.
It's
Yeah.
you just turned it on. I went,
I
what is
remember
that? What is
that.
going on? Yeah.
It sounds nice and it feels nice and it's luxury and sporty, but whatever. you
That's
know?
hilarious.
It's-
That's
it's- yeah.
awesome.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
You
And
influenced the car.
it wasn't like I ran out and bought a car, but it was got into my
that's
skin.
how it happens.
Like,
That's-
tip your
that's
brain
what
when
I
you're
do.
ready, yeah.
Honestly, that's what I do to people. But
So anyway, the wellness company is what I do is I COVID changed everything.
Yeah.
And it's changed my feelings about trying to protect the physician-patient relationship, which I've spent my whole career doing, and
Yeah.
I've decided it's a useless endeavor. So now I'm trying to empower patients. And
Oh.
we're creating products that patients should have access to easily, cheaply. Everything, things you know how to, well, like for instance, we just developed a travel kit that has all the things in it that I make my patients take with them when they go traveling.
Right.
And
yeah.
why shouldn't you have that with a little telehealth consult if you want?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to be waiting for a doctor's visit. You don't have to
Yeah.
go to an urgent care center.
Yeah.
These things should be,
Yeah.
people know how to use these things.
No, yeah.
dude,
What?
did you talk to my mom? Because
Yeah, I was gonna say-
100%.
Yeah.
Now the most annoying thing is she's gonna be like, you got to do what Dr. Drew said. She's gonna tell me you got to do what Dr. Drew said.
Our mom watches every episode. When she heard
Well,
you say
yeah.
that, she went like this.
Yeah, Mom,
just lean in.
we are on the same page.
You are,
here. We
yeah,
get
yeah.
it.
I don't know if you want that. If you start asking me to move furniture, I'm gonna be pissed off. So yeah. And you know what's funny is because I think the last time I saw you was back when people didn't even know. Now everybody knows what a podcast is.
Yes.
But like
I didn't know.
But basically you were doing it anyway. I mean, you
Before
were
anybody
doing it in the
knew.
90s, but,
Yeah,
but it
right.
wasn't on the internet, obviously. But
It's a little different. We were doing these were all form thrusts of something else, right?
Yeah.
Like in a weird way, we were doing the first reality show.
Right,
Because we
right.
were sort of talking
That's
to people
true,
in
yeah.
real time about real issues. But it was a little bit of hanging out, which radio is not. Radio is usually
Totally.
timing,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
That's
blah.
true, yeah.
And podcasting is hanging out.
dude,
And so it was all the primordium of all
Yeah,
these
yeah,
things.
yeah.
I love in podcasts, people say like, people often will be like, hey, why your stand-up doesn't make me laugh, but your podcast makes me laugh. What's the deal with that? And I'm just like, you just are in this culture now that people just like listen to podcasts all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
and they
me.
just want you to be completely real and honest,
That's-
which is like
yeah,
what it
that's-
was back then when you started Loveline.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I remember early days with Adam, him just going, it's got to be real. It's got to be good, you know? And we just focused on
That's
making
cool.
a difference. And the same thing now, people just want connection with the openness. You know,
Yeah.
it's so much bullshit out there.
They want to connect. They want to connect. They don't. Yeah, so true.
One of the, I always say you're one of the nicest. Okay, so I think it was it, I've maybe been to 5 of these types of things in my life, but like it was a party at what's the one on no, not Mondrian. It was like a GQ party or something.
Okay.
I walked whoever was like my manager or whatever, like, do you want somebody to go? I'm like, no, I don't want this. I'll just go.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, well, if you show up and this person will be there. Whatever.
Whenever I had gone to things like that before, I glom onto people I like and know. So if I came up to you, it's because I'm
Yeah.
like, I need a friend.
But also you were like, hey, it was almost like you identified me as like this, like doing that. Like, what do I do?
yeah.
And you're like, hey, I don't know if you hear that, but you can hang out with me and my wife. And it was like so cool. And I was like, man.
I think we had Chateau Marmont.
Yeah, that's
right?
what it was. Chateau
And
Marmont.
we
weird. I was
sat
gonna guess
down
that.
Yes,
because
yes,
it was that whatever that was What
was
remember
it?
that?
You were there.
What was it?
It was a GQ party.
GQ
All right,
party.
because I've only been
It
to like
felt
4.
overwhelming to me, is what it felt at the time.
Yes.
I don't
and
know
you came
why
right
we
up
were
to me,
there.
and I was like, "Oh, thank God, this is
Yeah.
awesome. I don't have to just sit around my hands in my pockets."
I'd forgotten about that. That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
And so we hung out at a table and got
Yes,
to.
yes.
You ever gone to that stuff with him? It's
I
not.
mean, those
it's not,
things
Dude,
in general, I am just sweating. Where's the exit?
Remember we
I
went
wanna
to
go.
the,
I gotta get out of here.
We went to the premiere of The Nun, right? That show. the
Oh
movie,
my God!
which is like the
yes.
9th installment of the whatever those movies are.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
They're all bad, and they keep making them. And like we went to the premiere, so they're like, you
Yep.
take pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're there, and 10 minutes.
10 minutes in.
10 minutes in the movie, we're like, this is okay. Well, we'll just stick it out, you know. And then like 30 minutes, and I'm like, this is really bad, huh? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, what do we do? And he's like, let's just leave.
It's hard to do
we
that.
it's hard because
out.
you
I
know
know,
the
but we snuck
director's
out.
there and
Yeah,
shit.
and,
Like,
and if you're not way in the back,
Exactly,
then
yeah.
where are you
I
going to
know.
run into somebody?
We
in the
were
middle?
Trust me, we were
so
we were in the
low.
back. But,
Yeah.
all right. So we have this show, which is actually, it's very cool to have you here because I'm now outnumbered. He's smart. You guys are smart, and I am not. Okay.
We'll see about that.
We'll
will.
see about that. But you will definitely see that how not I am. But
I don't know. Some genetic sharing here. There's got to be some,
Maybe, yeah.
some good genes
yeah.
in there.
Some shedding
what
on you.
kind of smart would you say I am?
You
Am I street smart?
know people. People have
okay.
a different definition of what street smart means. Is what I've
Yeah.
learned.
I'm not
about
like-
people.
I don't
But
know,
you
like, about drugs and
know
stuff.
what's up with people. You can read people well.
And
you
you're
know what's
quick.
going on,
You're
and you're super quick.
Right.
Quick.
But you
Which
don't
is
know-
a kind of smart.
No offense.
Okay,
you don't
thank
know
you.
like
No offense.
things.
Whatever he's going to say next is very offensive. It's
No
only my daughter.
offense.
No offense.
You don't know things. You
Yeah,
don't
I
know how
don't know
things
things.
work
No.
at all. Sorry
Did
to
you
rub
have
it
a
in.
difference in your educational history? Because usually that's
yeah,
what that is.
I mean, I went to school.
He did, yeah.
And
I
he did not
dropped
go to
out.
school.
That's
And
usually what that is.
That is it.
Right?
That is
that
it.
sucks though. That sucks that it's
But you
just
can
3
read.
years.
You can read and watch podcasts now and watch YouTube.
I
Not
know,
even
true,
worry
true,
about
That's
school
true.
anymore.
True.
Yeah.
And that is
But
crazy.
what about though the other day? Sometimes when I know something, like he taught me that there weren't that many people in Green Bay. There's only 100,000 people. That's the population of Green Bay.
Yeah.
And he told me that. And then the next week I saw him. I told him that, and he was like, "I told you that." And I was like, "Oh fuck, that's all I have."
I do that stuff all the time, so don't feel bad.
So this is where like we're gonna have a show where people send in videos and give advice,
Yeah.
and we'll give advice to them.
Okay.
And we know that often with your advice, it's real advice. A lot of
Okay.
times with our show, it's hey, how do I what shoes do I get or some shit?
Mhm.
You know what
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, people need information.
I know. So try to use. You can use your your doctorness to
Okay.
to
Your
dumb it
doctorness.
Yeah, I
down,
like that.
basically.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's the right word. Doctorness.
All right. So let's go. Let's start. Yeah.
Yeah,
You want
let's
to
get
start
going.
one? We'll see.
I love it.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Chris. My name is Dana, and I am in need of some serious advices. So my husband and I have been living in a loveless, emotionless, intimacy-less relationship for the past,
Okay, hold on. Stop
7
it for
years.
a second. So this is an actual question.
Yes,
I guess
yeah,
was
I
wrong
see,
about
I
this.
see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
No,
go ahead,
they
go
ask
ahead.
him.
Not
By the
about
way,
shoes. Okay.
so far, glorious.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
So I finally asked for a divorce, and he said, cool, that's fine.
Okay.
Didn't even try
Cool.
to fight for it.
Oh.
But how soon is too soon to move on after a divorce? Especially if you already knew the person. So my best friend from when I was 15, he never gave up on us being together one day.
Whoa.
And he's had girlfriends and serious relationships, and I always was married, but we both went through school and got our careers started, and we're both financially stable. And now that we've reconnected, it's all of the best parts of when we were kids, and then on top of it, all the best parts of having life experience behind us.
Oh, boy.
Him and I both just we're why are we wasting any more time now that we've already done all of the bad things and just want to live good lives? So is it too soon for us to move in together, try to have kids, and
Train wreck.
get married, or
Again?
do you think this is just a panic
Die
response?
together?
But I really do love him.
Drink
Just
each other's
wondering
blood.
because I went to the doctor and they're like, "Hey, you're 30. You need to freeze your eggs." And I'm like, "But I'm 30." So I don't know. Anyways, love the pod, Chris.
Oh my God.
I'm the one who gets you in the divorce, but thank you for
that's
meeting
him.
us. This is the last time you'll see us together.
Oh,
That's all very sad.
that is sad. I hate when people break
She
up.
doesn't
dude.
seem sad about it at all, but it
Nah,
is.
but you got to
sad.
cover it up. You got to cover it up in a video.
She really doesn't care though. She doesn't care. She's been out for
Turned
a
it
while.
off and she started crying. Dude, I don't. Here's the thing, man. You're gonna lose a friend. You're going to lose a friend.
Yeah, well, that is
This
the
is a
tough part.
train wreck.
Yeah.
Test it out with other people first.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You don't break up and then jump right to your best friend that you're the guy that you
I
knew.
didn't think about that. Yeah.
You're going to hate that person then because this is a rebound. Rebounds are real.
The thing about it that's stuck in my mind, though, is that if they've been dead inside with each other for so long,
The couple?
yeah, the existing couple that she's getting a divorce from,
Yeah.
when she said she asked for a divorce and he said, cool. Like
Yeah,
that
but
is
that-
not a thriving, it says to me that they should be separated and should have been separated a while ago.
But it also says to me that she has a bad picker
Yeah.
and she has trouble with intimacy.
Right.
Hmm?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that- you
no,
don't
absolutely.
get over those things with one bad relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to work on yourself, huh?
Well, that's the thing that
That's the hardest
jumped
thing
in
the
my
world.
mind. You might want to give yourself some time to figure out yourself.
Which what Chris saying too. Just don't jump right into things.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so hard though. I'm so codependent and I have intimacy
You could count the
problems.
days that you've been single on both your hands.
No, that's not true. I went a year once, a whole year.
You did?
Yeah.
Look
I
at
don't
him.
know where
I
I
went a
was.
whole year. I think that was a weird year, but
See?
but yeah, no, it's yeah. I've been with Kristen for 7 years, but it's
Wow.
yeah.
Hey.
I'm too codependent. If she left me, I'd have to find someone immediately.
Well, you're like her then. Yeah.
But that's a little different though. It's because you would feel so distressed by you're
Right,
good
true.
with your marriage, and it would feel so painful.
That's true.
I could like eat. I would be a fat. I would just be like, I'll just be a fat guy. Fuck it. Like I can't
Commit to being a fat guy?
I need immediate satisfaction. I'm so fucked. I
Okay.
am so fucked. And I've never done drugs. I know you deal with a lot of addiction.
could.
I could
That's
start-
that quality.
Yeah,
Yes,
this
yeah,
might
yeah.
be it.
And I start. I go.
Make note if you leave, she's threatening you now. So
Yeah.
I get one. I go 0 miles per hour or 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
I've never done drugs.
Uh-huh.
I would immediately start doing whatever the most hardcore thing. The new thing is that's not even out yet, really. That the guys have it on the street.
Zalazine.
For this
There you go,
reason,
Xylazine.
he's never even had a sip of alcohol for real.
I've never had a sip of alcohol
because you've been
thinks-
afraid you have this thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I do. I'm
Yeah.
for sure an
well,
addict.
good. Stay that way.
Zalazine.
Be careful.
What is this, Beelzebub? What?
No, there's some new stuff they're mixing it with the fentanyl. That's
Oh, God.
makes it go a little longer.
Oh my God.
But they
So-
never like. They never. It's always evolving.
Yes,
right.
of course. Well, I mean, a drug addict will always go for a better, longer, cheaper, higher,
Right.
more intense. They always will do that.
Yeah.
It's the market makers, the pharmaceutical companies, and the drug dealers that try to come up with better and better products.
Yeah.
You know,
Scary.
and unfortunately, the pharmaceutical companies have been in the game.
You watch
And-
that? What is it on Netflix? Peter Berg did it. What was
Yeah,
it?
I lived through the whole thing.
yeah,
Look,
I
it
know better than
wasn't
that.
just the drug company. It was my profession too. Look,
Yeah,
the
right.
playbook that is the same, which is evangelical physicians get picked up by drug companies to go evangelize. They can control the regulators. The regulators start putting demands on the physicians to do the things
Yeah.
that end up where we know they end
Yeah,
up. COVID was that playbook.
Yeah,
Opiate
yeah.
crisis,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
opiate epidemic was that playbook. Same playbook every time.
Scary.
It's just, and the regulator is the one that do the real damage. Because once you've got the Joint Commission and the state medical societies and the professional societies and the insurance companies
Yeah.
and the VA all saying you must do this, you're screwed. You're done. Anyway, so back to our friend.
Yes.
So I would like to know how long that marriage went for, and
Yeah.
I'd like to know how long she'd been out, because it's relevant. I mean, it's just
Yeah, it is
important
totally
to-
relevant.
Now she said she's 30, so it can't be too long. The issue with the eggs, yes, unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's a real thing. I mean, by the way, if you freeze the eggs, and women should take control of their reproductive
Yeah.
potential, because you can do that now.
Yes.
It's not that expensive.
Right.
So she should do that. It'll give her more freedom to spend a little time figuring out who she is and
actually huge, yeah.
dating with other people and sort of
Yeah, good
trying.
time,
you got to
yeah.
you got to do that. You got to find out who you are with other people, and especially if you've had a bad picker.
Yeah.
And she needs to figure out what's wrong with her picker. Was dad, neglectful, abandoning,
So it
whatever?
has to do with the parents. yeah.
Oftentimes. And does she need some therapy? Yes or no? Or can she find some good relationships? And once she does, can she tolerate the intimacy? This is the other thing that people who form these kinds of relatives, when they actually do find somebody, they sabotage it.
Yeah.
'Cause they can't quite tolerate it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she's
yeah.
got a little work to do. She looks lovely and she looks like does have her shit together, but
Yeah.
you might want to look
yeah.
into it a
She
little
doesn't,
bit,
though.
just a little
Yeah.
bit. I don't want my answer in every call to be, oh, get a therapist. You know,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
sounds
yeah,
a little,
yeah.
I also tell people, you know, if you have a bad picker, this is something you'll hear me say over and over again, which is
It means if you keep picking bad people.
correct.
Yeah.
If that's your pattern, then it's something in you. It's not everybody else.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And if you can't tolerate intimacy at the same time, then we got a real problem here. But you know, the kind of person you're going to go for is going to be exactly that same person again, because your body is a perfect instrument of attraction. You're attracted to a certain kind of people.
Fucked up.
Right?
I don't want to believe that. That's one of those things that I want to
Well,
say.
you can get over it. You can get over it.
It takes so much work, though, dude.
Well, I don't mean that kind of work. Even you can. What we tell people is you can go for butterflies rather than lightning bolts, because those persons that like those have the broken picker bowl, they go for the lightning bolts.
Yeah, it's
and when
true,
I tell them, they go, "Well, how am I going to be? I won't be attracted." No, you can be attracted.
Right.
You can be light lightning bolts, just not that. Oh, I got to be with that guy.
Oh,
Because
man.
if it's that, then you know it's going to be the same thing.
But
all
that's
over
a drug
again.
addict. That's basically a code.
It's codependent. Same thing. It's all in the same zone.
I'm fucking codependent.
It's in the same zone.
My wife and I tried to read a book about codependency, and I wouldn't even do it unless she did. That's the thing.
That is funny.
Yeah, actually, that's like a fucking Woody
a bit.
Allen.
Yeah,
Rodney
yeah,
Dangerfield
It is a
joke.
Woody Allen joke.
But yeah, so I just, oh man, I learned because I went to rehab for sex addiction, and man, the stuff that you learn, the stuff they tell you,
it's intense.
All this stuff, it's absolutely intense.
It's the same, very similar stuff as drug addiction, same kind of process in most situations. It's more getting through some of the defenses, which is the hard, painful part.
Yeah.
And it is tender territory you got to walk through. It really is. And then this is the part that people seem confused about that I am not, which is you have to make amends and you have to let people rebuild their lives and be okay. It's like I'm that's my whole thing is forgiveness and letting people rebuild their lives. And people in drug addiction, people have done horrible stuff. And if they do such horrible thing that the law gets involved, it's like, well, okay, that's part of your making amends, which is cleaning up your side of the street. And then after that, you're welcome to my life. I welcome you all. I mean, everybody should do that. As long as the recovery's still going.
I feel like it'd almost be easier to just like buy a hat and mustache and be like, I don't know,
be a different person.
It would be easier. It's not Chris anymore. That's for sure.
Right. That would be easier.
I'll tell you one thing, it's not Chris.
I don't know who would believe
It
you.
is easier. It is easier, but it's not real.
I know. But then just be nuts.
But then one day you'll wake up and you'll think,
nuts
I
too.
really am Chris, though. I'm not this guy with the mustache.
Yeah.
And
I guess.
you wasted a bunch of years.
I like different food.
Yeah, exactly.
I watch different stuff on a telly.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But then you become Russell Brand all of a sudden.
Be
careful.
So all right. I would say.
So we gave her good advice.
Yeah.
I think we sort of, we're worried about her. She needs to be cautious. We worried about her jumping right into this thing. By the way, the jumping into the best friend that you picked up on, which is again that thing of fixing. And it's feels this is gonna be good. Fix it. Maybe be uncomfortable for a little while.
That's the thing.
That's what fucking therapists always say,
That's
dude.
the truth,
it's
though.
the worst.
You gotta sit in
It's
a-
also
you gotta
why
sit
it's
in a
also why when
discomfort.
people go about their therapist, they go, "Oh, I love her. I feel so great when I leave." It's like, no, no good.
Yeah, right.
No good.
I when people say like, "Don't you just love therapy?" I'm like, "What are you talking about in there?
You're not really doing
What are you
it.
talking about
I'm
in
the
there?
same way, yeah.
You're
You feel
not
good because you
doing
just
it.
left,
That's
and
what
now
I
you feel
always
better?
say. You're not doing it right if you fucking love it so much.
Yeah.
I hate sitting in it, and then you got to sit in it. But yeah, it's anyway.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, yeah.
Do another one.
Next
so
next
good.
one.
Good times.
Delia Brothers.
Great angle.
First time, long time. Got an issue that I could use some advice on. My girlfriend of 3 years calls me entirely too much.
Oh.
15, 20 times a day.
What? The fuck?
These aren't phone calls. She's FaceTiming me
Oh no, yeah.
while I'm at work, while I'm driving, playing video games. So I don't know what to do. I just start singing or making annoying noises to encourage her to get off the phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's not sustainable. I need some advice. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
I swear that guy. You wouldn't think that guy plays video games, but
Sort of love this guy.
I got a shirt with a pumpkin face stabbing his eye. So, okay,
On the t-shirt.
yeah. I guess I don't.
That I'll say right now, That sounds like the most annoying thing a partner could possibly do. 15 to 20 times a day? FaceTime?
Remember the
Someone you live with?
Remember the
he lives with her?
Yeah, they're together. I mean, like, what?
Remember the Love Potion #9 movie where he had to keep calling her to make sure she heard
I
the voice.
think about that movie
Me too.
entirely too much. We must have seen it together in the theater or
Dude,
something. Yeah.
she has to keep calling him to make sure he's still okay. Hey, how's it going? And then she falls in love with him again every like hour or something.
Yeah, and the close up on his lips.
Yeah,
It's like
dude.
ooh, yeah.
Anyway,
Why do you think of that film so much?
I don't know.
You know why I think I do?
It was appropriate for this moment. I'm wondering why he's ruminating about it.
I think about it because it left such an impression on me at that age.
How old were you? 14.
No, I was a little bit younger,
Scary.
and it was starting to like girls, and I was like, "There's the idea that there's a way to make all of them like me was so exciting to me, you know." And I was like, I really sat up in my seat, and I was like,
this is a deep insight into the
deep.
male
Yeah,
brain.
yeah,
very
deep,
much, yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's laughing.
Your wife laughs.
Yeah.
That 10 to 14 window
Oh,
for
man.
males,
Yeah.
it's not the same window for all men, but that window is like weird stuff is going on
I
in their
actually
brains.
have a question that's so funny you say that because I've
This is
been
gonna end in tears.
realizing
This
this.
is gonna end in tears,
yeah,
by the way.
Chris, you can go home.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be crying.
But my memories, when I think about the things I remember throughout the course of my life,
yeah.
most of my good memories are in that, like the clear memories.
that's
I mean,
interesting.
Are in that window. Like
Yeah.
I felt
More
things,
intense.
Yeah,
Things are
exactly.
more intense. It's because your hormones are turning on,
Yeah.
and your frontal lobe is kind of kicking in, so you have, and your hippocampus is better formed, so you have more memory. But
Yeah.
really, there's an intensity of that period.
yeah,
And I've noticed that, again, this is males. Of
Yeah.
course, women have their own version of that.
sure.
But I know more about the males having lived it myself.
Yeah.
Is that things make, like, they imprint on your
Yes.
brain.
Yeah.
Like
So
things,
much.
images you see stay, and
Yes.
they become preferences, and
Yeah.
you like those things, and
Yeah.
and you don't even you sort of like them at the time, but they just stay with you.
Yes.
as preferences. It's weird.
It's weird in that, and it
It
almost
worries me now when they're so exposed to pornography. I mean,
Oh, dude,
what are the preferences going to be? What are they
Scary.
going to like, and what are they going to be exposed
and it's so
to?
random almost.
It's so intense. Yes,
Whatever you
it's
click
very
on,
random.
it jumps up in front of your
Yep.
face, and you have no choice. Once you've clicked, it's like that's going to
Yeah.
be the thing that
And
might get imprinted.
Or it's some other screwball friend of yours. You're 12. Look
Exactly.
At this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to have
My
women
life's
pee
over.
on me when I'm older. Dude, I But one of the examples they used though in the rehab was like, if somebody likes to get peed on, maybe it's because they saw a woman peeing in the shower when
Yeah.
they were younger, and I'm
Yes.
like, oh, that's so fucked up.
It's just so
Yeah.
the randomness for me
know.
is what
Well, it's also, and if your brain, if it's at a traumatic time,
Yeah.
or if it's coupled with some sort of traumatic experience, then
yeah.
it's in.
Oh.
Then it's now in. It's a thing.
wow.
But some people would argue that some of these images are traumatic.
yeah, yeah,
right,
totally.
And
themselves.
so,
Right. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
and so
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
there. It is. You're done.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about it. I was playing a video game. I don't play video games,
Yeah,
unlike
right.
this guy, but I was playing it and I was shooting someone and my son saw it and he was like
Oh,
2.5. And I didn't even think about it. And I'm like, oh, wait, they look real now, video games. So
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not right. So
It's a very. I know we're both all troubled.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I know.
troubling
Yeah.
because there's no
Well,
real
'cause
easy
I-
solution.
I've been thinking a lot lately about the impact of technology. I mean, we've had like a leap forward.
Yes.
I don't think our brains
Crazy.
are
Not even
We're
close.
struggling with it. I found myself obsessing about the printing press. Like, oh,
Yes.
when that got 150 years of wars because of
That's
that
the
thing.
thing.
It's like, and this is like, whoa.
Such massive disruptors, the
Yeah.
printing press, the internet, they're so similar, and God knows what's going to happen.
at least
now.
it'll be fucking
I agree
quick
with
if
you.
it goes
Yeah.
down.
But anyway, let's help this kid.
There's
so
somebody's gonna
yeah,
hear
I
it.
love
Fun.
this guy.
Yeah, this guy's great.
Yeah.
This guy's great. It's weird to me for that age group, especially because they don't call.
Yeah, that's true.
They get pissed when you call. They
Yeah.
text.
That's the weirdest thing. I was like, well, if she's calling him 15 to 20 times, how many times is she texting him? But some people don't text. But then it's like FaceTime's the worst. I hate FaceTime because not only do you have to talk, but you have to also hold it. So your
Yes.
arm's tired and you're engaged. And it's like, dude,
You can't
it's
look
terrible.
away like a normal phone call.
No, I
You
know.
can't pretend
Right.
to listen. Yeah, exactly.
You can't do this.
But anyway, yeah.
So what does he do? So I guess he could ask her to text. He could do that and see if he could dial it down from there.
I was thinking almost ask if you want to have this. I was going to call it a confrontation, but it doesn't have to be. Like, ask her why just out of
What's going on?
curiosity.
Yeah.
Like, why are you calling me?
Why so much?
Yeah.
Is there? Are you okay?
Yeah. Are you okay? Are you
Be
worried
concerned.
about me?
Yeah.
Like, or something? Because it could be that.
And he's got a couch, and I love talking to you. I love
Right,
connecting with
totally,
you.
yeah.
Oh, man.
But sometimes I can't get through my day.
Yes.
No big deal.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be there's gonna be a
Lightly-
I
reaction.
wouldn't be able to do that.
Lightly broach it is what I would say. I think.
You know how I love talking to you so much.
Let's start there.
Don't
It's
say
great.
it the way Chris says it.
Yeah.
You know what you should do is talk for days about how much you love talking to her.
Yes.
For
Try to
days.
kill it.
And then like 7 days in, be like, how come you call me 15 times though?
Right. Yes. Exactly. Set it up.
Diabolical.
Yeah.
Diabolical.
And then when she says, "Oh, you don't want me to talk," we say, "Hello, were you the past 7 days?
Yeah. Right.
telling
Were
you
you
how
having the
much I
same
love it.
conversations I have?"
You
Yeah,
don't
this is
listen.
good.
You
I
never
need
listen to
use
me.
this.
But
Yeah,
then it could
exactly.
be something like I need to focus when I'm
Yes.
trying to get my day, and I don't feel like I'm focusing when you call. Maybe we should maybe structure it.
That's
like,
good.
Yeah.
certain
Oh,
times,
man,
you know.
dude.
See, now we're
My
talking.
wife loves structure. You know, she wants me to get a journal and like a make lists. Dude, I haven't.
You don't like lists? You don't do
No
lists?
way. I get to one. I get to one.
It's a
Technically
list.
not. Yeah.
Technically, I would say it's not a list. Technically, it's a
2,
note.
3 is a list. 1 is just something I didn't do yet
Right.
It's a
for a long
memory.
time.
Yeah.
I didn't make my colonoscopy appointment. Yeah, I had to.
Let's go together.
Oh, you got to go again now?
I'm sure we go to the same place. Oh, you did it?
maybe. I didn't do it yet.
Oh, it's over in Pasadena behind the.
Probably, yeah.
I'm sure it's the same place.
Yeah.
Let's go together.
Go
All
together.
right, cool.
Go together.
I have to go every year because I have
Oh, really?
because I have this predisposition for
Ah.
cancer
Every
stuff.
year?
Every year, I stretched out to like 18 months.
Yeah,
every
yeah,
year.
nice,
Because it's like, but get the propofol.
What's that?
It's just lights out.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I will for sure.
That
Nah, I'm gonna go natural.
Oh, I've done that before too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
is it a little? I've heard it. I've never done it. Is it a little easier now than
They
it
have
used
the
to
cameras that go in,
Right.
And they have to develop the film in there.
be? Right. Exactly. 1 hour photo though.
They have to
But
put some
back
elves
in the
up there.
day, it took more than an hour.
Yeah. 24-hour photo.
So what are you asking?
I've heard that it's a little less like invasive now.
heard it's-
No, it's
Oh,
not true?
It's the
Okay.
same, but they've got better at the anesthesia
Because they used
Okay,
to
got it, yeah.
used to also check your mouth at the same time too.
Right. Yeah.
from your asshole.
Get his mouth.
Just keep going.
So-
keep going.
But by the way, I do both at the same time. I do the upper and the lower.
There you go.
It's like the what's that Centipede movie?
Human centipede. Yeah.
So wait, hey, I gotta do that.
Yeah, we'll go together. I'll
All right,
go with
okay,
you.
okay, all right,
I got to
cool.
set it up to it. Maybe in June. It's
Cool.
my sort of time.
June's
Is
a good
June
time.
okay? Is June
Yeah,
long
June,
enough?
June
All right.
would be great. Yeah.
It's a good time for that.
All right. Yeah. I think that's good.
All right, that's the best we can
And
do.
by the
for
way,
it.
if that's the best thing that comes out of this podcast is that I finally scheduled my colonoscopy
be a
appointment.
good thing.
And I go with you. Amazing.
I feel like we had
Amazing.
tried.
Better than the outcome of most episodes
yeah.
for sure.
That's
yeah.
actually almost a reality show. If we had 2 other guys,
I will.
you get 2 other celebs and we go
or
in
your
and
brother
get
can just came and bring a little camera.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
film
yeah,
it
yeah,
and
yeah.
Do the
yeah.
whole
This-
thing.
I think
It'll be
we're
fun.
onto something here.
Actually sounds like Jackass maybe. But anyway.
But it'd be
Jackass.
interesting because I really do. I want people to get this test. I mean, you know what I mean.
Colonoscopy?
You need, yes,
Yeah.
you need to
It's
do that.
really-
You need
I know.
your PSA.
I
I
know.
mean, men should not be getting colon cancer, and women neither. And men should be, at least if they get prostate cancer, they should be on top of it.
Yeah. Because it's curable. If you find that early, it's like
Everything,
super curable.
everything's good early. Well, at least those
man.
two for sure.
Yeah.
I gotta pee. I'm also peeing more. I should check my prostate. Oh, whatever.
All right.
All
I
right.
got you covered. You let me know.
All right,
if there's any
okay, yeah,
problems.
okay, go.
We'll go.
All right, next one.
Next one. Chris getting everything checked out.
What's up, Chris? What's
Couple.
up, Matt? I'm Garrett.
And I'm Haley. Just wanted to start off by saying that I literally never listened to podcasts, and now the only podcast I listen to is Lifeline. Well, and the Private Record.
Hey.
Sick.
And ask Dr. Drew.
And Ask Dr.
Damn
Drew now.
Damn it.
Of course.
So
Sick,
our
innit?
question is, we're married. We find that whenever we're going out and hanging out with our other friends that are couples, whether they're dating or married, they always will talk bad about their significant others. We'll be at a dinner table with a bunch of friends. I'll be with a bunch of my guy friends, and they'll be complaining about what the annoying stuff that their wives do or something like that.
Yeah.
And we always feel like we have nothing to add to that.
Can't
Amazing.
complain.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
we don't really fight.
Not even about
we don't
the
really
outfits,
argue
or-
that much. I know. braggadocious, but it's true. We don't really fight that much, and we just feel like, are we the weird ones?
Or are we better than everyone else?
Now she's talking my language. I like this.
Are we?
Are we better? Are we weird?
Are we
Both.
Yeah.
You're both.
Or
You can be
maybe a
better and
healthy
weird.
balance of both.
Yeah.
Should we just rub in everyone's face that
Yes.
we're better?
Well, you are by
or
being on this fucking show.
This
They're
is
all
the
going to see
ultimate
it.
rub-in.
and
Yeah.
complain about the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you?
I think we're better than everyone else.
We're
Fuck, they
also
love each
super humble.
Yeah.
All
Cool.
right.
I wouldn't know how you get your viewers and listeners to send such high quality videos in.
I think that we
Do you like send instructions
yeah,
out
we have
with
Chris
it?
Mako go over and film them all. No.
Right? Do you go get? I
No.
mean, right?
I don't know. That was a particularly good one that they set up.
Even
They
the guy in
don't-
the
Previous
car
guy
was
had a
not
good
bad.
angle and
You think
everything.
so?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it was
it's
like-
true. Actually,
But both of those
Tell
last
you our
people.
secrets after the show.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can't
so you
share-
actually send them instructions, I bet.
No.
Or you
Oh
you
yeah,
send
because you know
multiple
people follow
takes.
instructions too.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Okay, so anyway, what do we do with these
Both
two?
of those people are Ali G, but let
me
Eddie Murphy dressed up.
Let me just make sure I got it. Were they saying that when they go out with other couples, one member of the couple will start talking shit about the other one?
What they were saying is when they go out with other couples, yes.
So it's not like the guys are hanging out together and he has to hear about somebody's wife.
And yeah, no, it is that. It's
Also
when they're
that.
all hanging out, the guys separate and then the girls
Oh,
separate.
I see.
And
At the
then the
same
guys are like, my
crazy.
wife is this,
Bro,
and then the women are like, my husband's this.
Fire though. That's crazy to do.
But that's really common, though. I
It
know.
is common.
It's so
I
common.
don't do it.
I don't ever do that because I don't fucking trust anybody.
Yeah.
Well, that's
That
A
would be
number
why I
one.
wouldn't do
Yeah.
A number one.
Yeah, I'm not trusting any of these
Because
fucking
he'll
clowns.
go home and just mention to
Yes.
the wife.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
you're
it.
fucked,
Yes.
dude. I listen to way too much Tupac to be trusting motherfuckers with that. So, and then, and also, I feel like I say the thing to the person
Yes.
all the time. Sometimes too much.
Right, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
And Chris is like,
Codependent.
your
We've
tone
established
is-
that.
Yeah.
But
Could work on that, probably.
But he's working on it. But there it's one thing to kind of blow off steam,
Right,
or to
right.
kind of joke about
Yes.
people,
And it depends on what you're talking about too.
right?
Yeah.
But if you're really talking
Yeah.
smack about somebody, or you're really complaining, or
Yeah.
it's a recurrent thing, I pull the guy aside and go,
Yes.
"Are you okay?
Yeah.
Is
See,
everything
that's-
all right?"
yeah.
Like, so it's not that they're that abnormal. I mean, I want that for everybody.
Yeah.
And most people should have something like what these two have. It's more the other ones that I think should be
Yeah.
thought of as outliers.
You do have
Yeah,
to blow off some
interesting, yeah.
steam though, don't you? You have
Yes,
to. You have to
yes.
have that shit.
But
where you blow
humor
off
is
steam.
usually in it, though, right?
Yes.
Usually it's like, oh, man, look how they and
Yeah.
they're doing the same thing about
Yes.
us.
Oh yeah,
and they
Well,
should be.
yeah, women talk a lot, but yeah.
Well, but it's more in the order of with stuff we were just talking about. Can you imagine how women's minds work, or how
Right, yeah,
men's
right.
minds work?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
these quirky things that we notice in each other. We're like, I can't talk to her about it. I can talk to Chris and
Yes,
brother about
right,
it.
yeah.
it's
There are those couples that truly neg each other, though, in front of everybody.
That's terrible.
I cannot handle.
I can't either.
I like can't even be around that shit anymore.
I'm with
it's
you.
so upsetting. Like, what do you guys do when you're
man.
alone?
That happened to me one time with an ex, and I just was like, "All right, that's it. I can't. How can?"
Oh,
you be
she
around-"
started doing.
Yeah, she
oh,
did it.
Yeah, that's
she
bad.
did it
because
at a
people will
diner.
do it. They will do it as a. It's kind of abusive, really,
Yeah.
because they'll use the room against you. You know, they're trying to list other
Yeah.
people, and it's a splitting behavior.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm a comedian, so I felt plenty weirdness in front of people, and that just was like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
I can't remember what she said.
I
But
remember.
my God, it was like, oh, dude, I'll die today. I'll just die.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you.
So anyway,
But good for you guys, though. You got nothing that terrible to add to the
Just
pot.
a little
when it
style
comes up.
issues, but other
Yeah,
than that-
style issues
yeah.
aside.
Yeah,
I don't.
Good.
That they seem awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they seem
I
very
agree.
pleased with each other and happy. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
that's crazy.
Celebrate it.
My whole rule is if you're gonna talk shit about somebody, you should feel comfortable with. I think I would say this to them as well.
Well, not only that, if you're going to talk shit about someone, it should be really just to maybe to sound it out. Like, is it me or is it somebody?
that's actually really good.
And then go back to the person you're concerned about.
Right,
If it
Am I
isn't
crazy
you.
or
Right.
is my wife a raging bitch? Like that's what you mean.
Have
Okay,
you guys
cool.
been feeling that as well, or is that just a me thing?
Every time we come to islands. All right. So
Do people around the country know what islands? It's a hamburger
no, but that makes
place.
it better. All right.
Yeah.
Islands is a really terrible
Hamburger place.
It's
Hamburger.
Yeah.
I used to like it when I was.
It's not
12.
that good though.
Left an imprint when I was 12.
It's one of those places you go so
It's
much.
a place your family takes you when you're
Yes,
12.
that's very.
It is
right,
100%.
very
And
much
then
correct.
it's one of those places where you go and you go so much, and then one day you're just like, why have I not realized that this isn't that fucking good? And then you never
Yeah,
go
Was
again.
this the one
Interesting.
at the mall in Pasadena?
Yes,
or-
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes. There's also one in
Absolutely.
Glendale that we would go
There
to
is
all the
one in
time.
Glendale,
I don't
yeah.
like any restaurants that have like fake like birds and plants and shit though. That's like a thing. That like
It used to be more of a thing. though.
Way more.
When there was like
Way
that
more.
rainforest
Yeah, the
restaurant
Rainforest
stuff.
Cafe, dude. My wife made us go to Rainforest Cafe in Vegas. In Vegas. In Vegas. We walked all the way to Rainforest Cafe. We did.
Well, see, this is a perfect example. What you should be talking to your guy friends about.
Right,
Yes,
right,
exactly.
Is
Well,
it
she's
me
here
or
right
is-
now. She knows.
Is it me
But-
or is it trying to be? I don't like going to
Rainforest Cafe
rainforest.
good, or is it?
we gotta get louder because the storm happens. They make the storm. It goes. Boom, boom,
Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah. We gotta
yeah.
wait. The monkeys are fucking doing the thing.
Yeah.
Am I crazy or is my wife a bitch?
That shouldn't be a thing.
Over the storm.
Yeah.
All right. No. Yeah. All right. Okay. So next
another
one.
one,
That's
yeah.
good.
All right, more.
Okay, I need your help.
Okay.
I have a small tattoo on the left side of my hip that I got like 10 years ago.
Uh-oh.
It's a Latin phrase,
Oh
like
boy.
3 words.
No, never.
And over the years, it just is bad. It's smudged out.
Oh.
It just looks like
Oh.
nothing. Like it's just like
looks
black,
bad.
smudgy
Oh, God.
words.
What did it say?
Yeah,
And
tell us.
every
All lives
year
matter.
I always say I want to get it covered up or removed
In Latin.
if I can't think of anything, and I just don't know what to get. I don't have any ideas.
Oh, cover it up. I see.
That's the only tattoo I have, and unfortunately, it's the one I'm stuck with. So, any advice would help. I'm gonna post it right here so you can see it.
okay, cool.
And
Okay,
then
there
let
we
me know what you think.
go.
Oh yeah, it's so tiny.
See it.
It's.
I don't
not-
know what it says. It
Oh,
says
yeah,
all,
look at
all
the-
lives matter. But I
Oh.
dude, that'd be funny though if you literally thought like, I'm gonna get some because all lives do matter,
Can you
and then
zoom
like
in
a
on it?
decade later it means something that it means like basically say, I'm in the KKK.
Why
so
is it covered up?
I'm in the KKK.
That's what it says. I'm in the KK.
Yeah.
I don't.
got you.
Well, whatever it is, it's.
All right, we're not gonna see it.
We don't speak Latin.
But we have a question though first.
Yeah.
Which is, we have to decision here: cover up or removal.
That is the decision.
If it's that small and you don't want it and you don't want any other tattoos, absolutely remove it.
Yeah.
If it's that
Completely
small,
agree. It's
Yeah.
so easy.
it's
now.
so easy if it's that when it's that small.
Yeah, if she had tattoos all over the place,
Yes.
I'm like,
I
I
would
get
say
another
cover
one.
it. Yeah, who
cover it.
cares?
Yeah.
But if their only tattoo, let's go back to the way nature made it.
Yeah, just get rid of it. It's also in a place that maybe won't hurt that bad.
hip, yeah.
Is there any world we encourage her to leave it?
I here's what I think. Don't ever get a tattoo in another language. It's so
Chinese letters?
ridiculous.
No.
That one's the most ridiculous. I mean, that's the most ridiculous.
It was such a
just
trend,
some
though.
guy that lives
whenever-
in Santa Barbara.
When was that? When it was everybody getting like those tattoos? Like,
Yeah, I
From
think it's-
1990 to
yeah.
2020?
Yeah.
I think it still happens.
Does it
kinda.
still-
yeah,
is it still
I
a
think
thing?
so.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't.
Well, like people still get the tribal shit. Like
That's what I can't believe.
I
yeah.
get tattoos.
I
obviously,
think
but-
if there were tattoos around, I'm a screwball enough that if there were tattoos when I was like 19, I
Yeah.
think I would have got a tribal tattoo.
interesting.
Like, that's how messed
Oh,
up my
that'd be
brain
hilarious
was.
if you had a
That's,
tribal
that's
tattoo.
how
That would be
messed up
amazing,
my
just-
brain was at 19.
Just across his
just-
chest.
I just feel like if you're gonna get a tattoo and it's gonna be words, definitely do it in your language. That's crazy. But I don't know what it says. We don't speak Latin, even if we could see it. But
we have this
oh yeah,
instrument.
right.
We could look it
yeah,
up. but
Right, you're right.
What
I
does-
wonder
what
what
it-
did
Can you
it
look
say?
it up?
Can you look it up?
Is it so?
Can you look it up?
Anthony?
Is it so
Yellow
smudged
cross.
that you can't even see it?
Yeah, I kind of could read Vitale or something at the end.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd say.
there we go.
I'd say.
Oh,
Pause
yeah.
it. And then,
and you made it go away.
Anthony.
See if you can get it and just Google it.
Anthony.
Anthony,
Google
dude.
Translate.
Anthony. Nah, it's all right. Yeah,
All right.
raise
We
it
don't
up.
want to. Don't waste the show on this. It's
Nah,
We
I
gotta-
want you to
we
waste
gotta-
the whole show on this.
We got to razz Anthony at least
Yeah,
once
yeah,
every
yeah.
episode.
okay.
So
Anthony,
this can be
come on,
the-
man. You can do better.
and it's
than
still
this.
covering it. He's still doing it, dude. Anthony's terrible.
Even Dr.
All
Drew
right.
getting in on the
You need a
razz.
new tech guy,
Yeah, Anthony, you hear that?
new producer.
Yep.
That's the only tattoo I have, and unfortunately, it's the one I'm stuck with.
You know, you had to get people to tell you also where they're from. I always go, where's she?
Ah,
Where are they? I'm
interesting.
curious about that.
There we go.
There it is.
What's that
Okay,
say?
what's that say? It's so faded.
Is it so?
Tourists.
Doesn't look like Latin.
It doesn't. It doesn't
Wonder
look.
if it is Latin.
It might
Maybe
be.
somebody
Oh, they
told her
just
it was
made
Latin.
it up. Yeah. It's not Latin at all.
Well, see if you guys can figure it out. They're all the team is working.
They're on
it.
Our crack
They're
team.
on it.
All right, whatever.
All
Well, if
right.
you find it out, then.
Get rid of it exactly.
Next show, send it in. for her.
The
But we want
consensus
to
is get rid of it.
go get a. It'll be cheap. It won't be expensive.
Yeah.
It'll look great. There'll be nothing left behind. They'll vaporize it, and that'll be the end of that.
You
territory.
never have to think about it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Done.
Great.
All right. Yeah, we figured that one out.
Next
Good.
one.
Next one.
By cheap, I mean like getting a picture removed is very expensive.
Right, right,
This will be not that big.
Colors and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
My question is,
Oh, right to it.
what is the meaning of life to you?
Oh, come on.
Curious what you think about that.
Guy's so hot.
I'm wearing a shirt that is,
He has no pants on.
No,
I'm not
no
going
way.
to show it. It's a Hooters shirt. I went once just to see. Meaning of life was not in Hooters. I will say, smoke. I am smoking a cigarette. I don't think that's the meaning of life. It's probably
you're
bad
Yeah.
You don't have to say
to do that.
every
but,
single thing
yeah.
done.
is or isn't the meaning of life.
What's up?
That's a good question.
That's
And
the
I'll
wrong order of things.
I'll tell you what.
He did that in all the
I
wrong
just
order.
like though. Again, you worry about the male brain. Going to Hooters to find the meaning of life.
Yeah.
There it is.
Don't
There
worry.
it
I know
is.
what you're thinking. It's not the meaning of life. So,
I know you all think
yeah,
it's there.
I checked for us.
Yeah.
So, dude, here's the deal. I like that you gave us that question because to me, questions like that are the worst questions in the world.
Okay, like that. When you
Means
say
nothing.
when you say like that, you
It means
mean
absolutely nothing. What's the meaning of life? It doesn't mean anything.
well.
What does that mean? Okay, you know what? What does it mean?
I would argue that most people in this country are confused about these things, and this
Yeah.
guy's no exception.
Yes.
Yes.
And,
Well,
and really, what they're asking is one of two things.
Okay.
yeah.
And one of them, they use a word that they don't even know what that means. So, what is happiness? Was
yes.
what they really
Yeah,
mean.
yeah,
But
right.
they don't even know what that means.
Right.
Or how do you lead a good life?
Ah.
And those are two viable questions. But the happiness part, I would zero in on and say, you don't mean euphoria because,
Yes.
because heroin addicts are happy
no.
when they get their
Chase
first
that.
hit.
Yeah,
No. But they mean how do you get a more nourishing, meaningful thing, which starts to bleed back over to how do you lead a good life.
Yeah.
And so what do you think?
Well, you know what that made me think of is one time I was in. I used to open for this comedian Joe Coy, and I
Before you say something shitty about him, I know Joy very well.
No, he's great. He's
So
good.
we love
He's-
Joe.
We're
Yeah.
friends. Yeah. I figured you knew him, but he. We were in Miami. I was opening for him, and we had a weekend in Miami and I brought I had my first. I had been married previously, so my first wife was with me, and we made a time out of it in Miami. And then after that, I had not been to Miami until years later when I was headlining, and I had an opener, and I had worked so hard in my career to get where I was that part of the thing that made us divorce was my job.
Yeah.
And I was walking down the street in Miami with my opener, and I look up and I see the hotel that I stayed at with my ex-wife
With when you're doing Joe.
when I was with Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm here now. I just happened to walk by it back years later.
Yeah.
And I look up and I say, whoa, I'm actually at the hotel I stayed at with the thing. I tell my opener about the thing, and he
Yeah.
says, oh. And he says, well, was it worth it?
Oof.
Wow.
That's an interesting way of framing the question.
Yeah.
Just right away, straight in, he asked that.
Yeah.
Hey, no, he just
Wow.
said, huh.
Got through
When
it.
we sat there for a little bit, and he was like, do you think it was worth it? Because, he wants to be a comedian too, and he was opening, and he was like,
Yeah.
do I make this
Yeah.
blinders on just
Yeah.
the career? And the answer I came up with was, it was a little bit worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little bit worth it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Happiness is a weird thing because
Yeah.
you think you drive a better car, you're going to be happy. You think you get more things, you're going to be happy. That has nothing.
Nothing.
No. It makes you more comfortable. It makes you
right. It gives you the opportunity to not worry about
You're
how am I
not
going to get
worrying.
food
Right,
and my
yes.
car payment stuff.
Right.
So that's a kind of
you can
happiness.
access happiness a little
Exactly.
easier.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not what makes you happy, and it's really wild. And I've spent time thinking about this, and I don't know if happiness is the meaning of life, but I know what makes me happy. Right, like my family, being with my family makes me very
what
happy.
everyone always goes to,
Yeah.
and another way of looking at this is when people are at the end of their lives, how do they look
Yeah.
at? And they always same thing.
Yeah.
Relationships.
Yeah, it's true.
Always,
it really
always,
is
always.
true.
And there are sacrifices that you can make together, even as a
Yeah.
relationship, to gain more security,
Yeah.
right? And then you can enjoy yourselves together
Yeah.
with a little more freedom. I think
Yeah.
freedom is one of the things
Yes.
you get
Yeah.
from some success.
Yes.
And so, relationships and then service, which we kind of talked about.
Yeah.
which is making a difference for other people, which you
Yeah.
guys want to do here. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a-
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel a little bad though, honestly, about because my job.
you're
obviously,
making people laugh, and that people don't performing
Yeah.
is you're giving people something.
Yeah.
You are.
I think
And laughter especially.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when I don't go
Yeah.
when I don't laugh for a while,
Yeah.
I kind of like notice it. It's like
Uh-huh.
I think my immune system is working as
Right,
well.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's you do provide something. You guys
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think performers.
Okay, all right.
I think
I don't
it makes
believe you.
sense though
But
as a
I'll
performer
accept it, but I don't believe you.
to feel that you're really not doing much of anything. To be like, well, all I do is this, that, or the other.
Yeah.
But
then also you get paid for it. But I guess you get paid for being a doctor too.
you pay for
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay. Actually, just that made me feel bad.
Well, it's weird. It's a weird time in comedy because it's been a little more of a rock star
yeah, it's
job.
really weird.
Yeah.
And it was. That's new.
No, I know.
That I'm sure when you went in, you didn't know that
No.
was
No.
That's
Yeah,
kind of a new
that's true.
aspect to it, and that has its own kind of momentum to it and preoccupation.
As a matter of fact, when I started stand up, I remember thinking like, how come you can't be cool too? And now that's like every comedian is like,
yeah, definitely.
I'm the coolest guy you've ever seen, sold out.
Which is not cool. Yeah.
yeah. So
It's already gone over the other way. Yeah.
So anyway,
But it's interesting.
Yeah.
It is interesting. I've always thought that performers didn't get enough credit for because they have to focus so much on their
Yes.
career and their performing and the next
Right.
job and stuff. They don't get enough credit for what they're giving to people.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because you give whether it's a singer or a performer, you're giving people something. They have an experience.
Yeah,
the
that's true.
compartmentalization you have to use sometimes is crazy. I mean, you perform, so you're on sometimes. So like when you're going through shit and you're like, then you got to go out and do your thing.
That's
just,
the hardest part for me. And even just doing this, if I'm having a shit day, it's hard.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
Yeah, yeah.
hard to like put it aside and be like, I'm here.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Okay,
Let's
I'm a
pretend it's
robot.
not happening.
Something you
Yeah.
want to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah, my video's next.
All right. Next one.
Hey, Chris and Matt, Josh here. I have a corporate job, and I'm allocated a certain amount of hours for vacation during the year. And I just received an email from my manager saying that Christmas Eve is already booked up. The day after Thanksgiving is already booked up, and I have about 60 hours of vacation time myself.
Oh, so he can't.
And mind you, it's only February, and I've asked why, and it's because we need to have a certain amount of people available. But I've earned those hours. It just really doesn't make sense to me, and it makes me so mad.
That sucks.
Do I keep bugging my manager? Do I go above my manager? That doesn't seem right.
Wait, I'm
Yeah.
not
do
sure I
do?
get it.
And also, Chris,
I get it. I'll tell you.
we were both born on March 29th.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
So he's
This is
accumulated a
what
bunch
he's
of
saying. Yes.
overtime.
So you know how they make you take a vacation, right?
Yes.
Like people that work with him already picked the days.
Oh,
that
they got
he
in
would,
ahead of
yeah.
him.
So like he can't take the day after Thanksgiving or the day, or Christmas Eve
Ooh.
because other people in January 2nd, like those. I hate people like that.
See,
Like,
I not only hate people like that, I hate managers that don't pay attention to that stuff.
yeah,
I had to
that's-
manage a schedule like that for physicians at one point. It was hard. It's hard, by the way, to do
Yeah,
that
I
kind of
can
stuff.
imagine. That makes sense.
cannot
But you have to really sit and get the scales of justice out and start
Yeah.
balancing these
Yeah.
things. This guy didn't do that. He just did whatever.
But also,
Yeah.
I would say like actually managing physicians.
oh, it was terrible. It was the worst.
That's gotta be.
It's the worst.
Because look, if I'm honest, comedians are crazy. Doctors, a lot of them have to be fucking crazy.
But intense. They're intense.
That's it.
They're intense, and everybody's an expert, and everyone's
yeah,
an
of
exception,
course.
and everybody thinks they should be
Yes.
whatever.
That
And
makes-
they're not wrong, right?
Right,
You're
right,
actually
right,
dealing
right,
with
right.
that group, and it was tough.
That makes sense.
It was a rough year.
I would lose my mind. dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
That what makes sense about that too, even more with doctors, is that you want your doctor to be
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
as hell So it's like it fosters this.
interesting.
Even the patients, what do you think? Tell me what's going on. I want you to be certain.
So you're sure I should take 2 of these and call you in the morning?
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're
All
gonna look
right.
at my mouth from my asshole. Is that what we've established here?
Yeah, that's I don't that sucks, dude.
Yeah, I think he should go to the manager.
Yeah, I think he has to
And
go.
he's got to go. No,
No,
just go
to
to
the
him.
manager.
To the manager.
Above,
Got
he's
it,
going
got
to
it.
have a trouble with
yeah.
it.
At least at first, you have to go. To
I go
the person
right
that-
to Biden.
But maybe go to him as like, hey, but he's got to get over his upset. If he goes in with a head of steam, it's not going to go well.
That's good. See, that's something that that's great. I would never think of that.
Oh yeah, and then
great.
he's got to say what happened. This seems
How is
so
this possible?
unfair.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to teach you guys something very important.
Oh, good.
Which is there is we live in a world. By the way, I've been like really behind what Dr. Phil has been doing lately. But one of the things that used to bother me, he'd do all this confronting on TV, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And people assumed he was doing treatment. He was not. He was doing television.
Yes, yes.
And his confrontations were good television.
Yes.
And I admired that he could do television. It used to bother me that people would think that's treatment. You should be confronting people.
Right.
You confront somebody, all the force fields go up.
My doctor's
you
Jerry
lose
Springer, but
everything.
yeah.
You cannot get anywhere with confrontation
right.
unless they're doing something dangerous or something you have to do with force. And then you better have more people with you because you got to make it stop now.
Yeah, right.
The thing you use is something called wonderment. So you go a lot of questioning, and starting with the word wonder. I wonder how that happened. It seems so unfair.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened here. I have all these things, I wonder. Especially when you know the answer, it's good.
Right.
Stay in wonderment.
This is
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, okay. And then you're saying
Go into this guy and go.
yeah.
We're not in March. It's already done. What could have happened? I'm wondering what this
what's
is.
going on,
I have 60 days of
Right,
stuff ahead of me,
right,
and
right.
how did this happen? Or I certainly don't want it to happen again.
Yeah,
it seems
right,
so
right, right.
unfair.
Yes.
and let that
God, that's
dude
good.
let him think about
It's a
it
little.
and solve
You
it
have to
himself.
use it a little sparingly, though. You can't be like with your wife, like, I wonder why this food tastes like shit.
You could.
You spent all day on it.
You can find a way.
You can do it.
You can
do
go.
it.
I wonder if. I wonder if somebody
Did you
put.
use-
I wonder if I put too much salt in this.
Right,
There we go.
You gotta wonder more. Put more wonder on yourself.
There you go.
God, Benny, you know what? You've been working on this roast. I swear it's been since yesterday. You left the meat out and then you made the things. I wonder why it tastes like utter shit.
Just to be clear, I actually do love everything you make. So it's
There you
not-
go.
I said it. And you know what? My wife's a good cook. And there was like, and then somebody was saying on another podcast, they were like, "Nah, how good could she be? She's white." But dude, she kills it.
Yeah.
Babe, you're a great cook.
Listen, people forget European heritage.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
There's a lot of good cuisine in European
But
heritage.
when last time we went to, actually no, one of the times we went to London, we tried to get breakfast and we got like beans and a tomato and it was fucking-
Except the British.
breakfast.
Yeah,
is just
Except
British.
British. We have to bring in
British,
the West
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Indies
You
and
got it.
think
everybody
with
else.
how long that society's
They'd
been
figure
around,
it
they'd
out.
figure out breakfast. They
Whatever.
haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
It's
With it,
crazy.
Bangers and eggs.
Yeah, yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
weird.
like a piece of little piece of toast, sliced up tomatoes, and beans. That's not breakfast. That's
It's not
stuff in the
anything, really.
cabinet when there's an earthquake.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. Wonderment. That's good. I never heard of that.
Therapeutic wonderment.
Okay,
actually.
therapeutic
Actually,
wonderment.
So when you were in therapy, it got used on you. I promise.
Fuck them. See, God damn it.
Because part of it is knowing what's going on, and then don't reveal
Posing
it,
like,
and
yeah,
just go. I
right,
wonder what that was like. I wonder what happened
I'm
here.
having memories of that being done on me. Yeah. Yeah.
Chris, I'm wondering.
They got me with the wonderment.
Wonderment. Yeah.
That's okay. Sounds like
More videos.
Yeah,
More
yeah,
videos. They're such high quality. Look at them,
Chris,
they're
my
all
name is
high
Sophie.
quality.
I love you guys.
Hi, Sophie.
My question is, as like a 5'1" introverted girl, I guess, how can I
I guess.
Girl, I guess.
assert my opinions, stand up for myself, kind of clap back at people when they're rude to me, or like mumble things under their breath. I've had issues because I don't really intimidate people, and I always regret not doing it. Anyway, I love you guys very much. And I go to college near Green Bay. Very tiny. Don't know how we have a big sports team. I'd really like to have you, but I can't come because I'm too poor.
Oh.
Fee.
Had you ever been up
Send
to
her
the,
tickets. You have her info, right? We'll get her tickets to the show. I'm gonna be in Green Bay.
had you ever been up to the original Green Bay?
No, I've never been. to
Never
Green Bay.
been.
I drove by it once, and I was like, we are in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
crazy.
stadium.
It's crazy.
always
It makes
been
sense why
so
they're-
fun.
why their football team, why they love them so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fanatics. There's nothing
Well,
else
they
to do.
come from
Yeah.
all around.
That's right.
those
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
So anyway, so poor thing.
Yeah, I feel for you. I think.
Say it.
Well, I was just thinking
Because
about.
I have a kind of a thought that has a similar feeling behind
I was
it.
thinking about like myself, like when I had to do stuff, and honestly, when I started stand up, it was one of those things like, how am I going to get on stage and do this?
Yeah.
I don't want. It goes against everything I feel like I should be doing.
Yes.
I know I want to be funny, but
Yes.
I remember thinking, okay, I was at the show, first real show. I was like, just focus your legs on taking a step 1, step 2, and keep doing that until you get on stage. And when you're on stage, you have to start talking. So like, I feel like if you break it down.
That's good advice in general for almost everything. Just put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah. I guess that is what I'm saying.
And put
Sure.
your feet on the ground
Right.
and say what you mean to say.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's usually never as scary as you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, whatever that thing is. So do it. And then, I mean, how do I do it? You just have to do it.
Well, you have to
And
get
then-
good at it eventually.
Well, but
You have
the only way to
it-
get good at it is to
it's the only
keep
way.
doing it,
It's
which
the only
sucks.
way.
But yeah.
But I'm fearful that she is projecting something onto people
Mm.
because,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
because
I
you
could-
look
I
at her,
could-
she's so sweet and tiny and stuff. Why would people have any issue? Why
Interesting.
would they be
Yeah.
saying
I hadn't
things under
thought
their
that, but that makes
breath around?
sense, yeah.
Saying something under your breath around her. Why would you do
Right,
that
yeah.
unless she was doing something that
Right.
motivated that? So her preoccupation with other people, she needs to look at that also. Most people, unfortunately, don't care, and they don't, and that's almost
Yeah.
more painful for humans.
Yeah.
They don't that they're not being seen and noticed,
Yeah.
and unfortunately,
Right.
being not seen is much more common than being seen for sure.
Yeah.
And they unless you're doing something to impinge on people in some way, they really don't care. And if it's something meaningful, like they, I don't know, they're doing something or saying something that you think is wrong,
hurtful, yeah.
Then you'll find more motivation, by the way, to stand up and
Yeah.
do what's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Stand up, and it's about connecting to who you really are.
Yeah.
And defending it. That's all.
Yeah.
You don't have to be aggressive.
No.
What makes you think she have to be aggressive?
That's
Yeah.
the thing that stood out to me as well. You
Yeah.
don't need to be
You can be
combative
very
in any
nice
way.
about it,
Just
yeah.
put your feet on the ground and say what you want to say. It's so much. There's so much more fear. It's kind of like what you're saying in the anticipation of how the confrontation might go than the actual.
Well, it's
confrontation.
also that confrontation world we live in,
Right,
where
yeah.
that's not. We shouldn't be confronting anybody about anything.
Right, yeah,
We
right.
should be approaching, sharing, questioning,
Right,
wonderment,
right, right.
whatever. You're not going to get very far with confrontation.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah,
So
yeah.
there you go. I'm bumming you guys out. It's good.
No,
No.
I just, she was so sweet.
That's what struck me. It's like, who is going to?
That is weird, yeah.
You're going to walk away from her and say, "Oh, that bitch,"
Under their breath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
That person's obviously got a
That's
problem.
got to be a projection. You're expecting that from people for some reason.
Yeah.
You're not going to get it. Expect better things from people. And I think
that's
you get
good. That's good. Yeah, definitely expect them to not be muttering things under their breath.
that. Yeah,
negative
Expect
things
them to
about
like
you.
She looks likable. Well,
She
why
sees-
wouldn't somebody
yeah,
like
very
her?
likable,
And if
yeah.
somebody doesn't like you, it's about them, not about
100%,
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true.
All right, good. Well, that's good. Thank you. That flew by. Jesus. Oh
my really? God.
Yeah,
We're
it's
done?
fucking
Wow.
5:15. We did it. Yeah. Ask Dr. Drew, the show. You can get it anywhere. We've got
Yeah,
our
it's-
guest. Thank you so much for Dr. Drew Pinsky coming by and celebrating the 100th episode.
I hope this was a sort of deserving of a
So
100th
special.
episode.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
Honor-
like
an honor.
I
Yeah.
love what you
True
guys are
honor.
doing.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
love the people that you've accumulated.
cool
you
people.
can tell a lot by the
Yeah.
audience and their engagement with
it's
you.
cool. I get to meet a lot of them too when I'm out like on the road.
Amazing.
They're like get the meet and greet tickets.
That's
and
like
shit.
podcasting is the best.
It's
thing.
wild. Yeah, it's
cool.
wild.
It's
It's wild
crazy.
to have the connection with the people like that. Yeah, it's so weird. I would have
Matt,
never.
you get to go see him? Do you get to meet with people and stuff? Do you
Yeah,
Matt hates leaving the house, but yeah.
I know. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, no, I do. I mean, his fans are legion, and they have been forever, and it's very cool to see.
But I feel like you guys have expanded beyond just
Oh, for sure.
Celia
Yeah,
fans.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we have this. A lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people come up to me too.
Yeah.
and say that they like you and tell your brother.
And I got my own new solo podcast, and it's interesting because I never thought I would love it the way that I do, but I really do. Passion wise, it's like it takes up my whole cup. I don't need to be doing anything else. And I did not expect that.
Nice.
I did not expect that. Yeah.
We're in a very interesting moment.
Yes.
In
It's crazy weird. Yeah.
I guess
It's wild.
communication,
Yeah.
media. I don't even know what to call it
Yeah.
even yet.
Yeah.
But it's kind of special and it's kind of nice, and the people responding to it is just so honored.
Yeah.
It's such honor to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So.
Cool. Well, thanks so much. Like and subscribe to his stuff. And
Rumble channel. Get my Rumble channel. That's
Rumble,
where I want you
Rumble,
guys to go. Rumble.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.